Hello, welcome to Yoga Rach. I am Rach. Thank you very much for joining me and welcome to a brand new series, Sequence Focus. We are officially in Gemini season. It's one of my favourite ones as I am a Gemini, so it means my birthday is coming up. You've also had a little extra practice which was first aired on Tuesday, and you have a couple more coming up as additional. So the reason I wanted to do this now is Gemini are represented by the twins. There's that duality in their nature. They also represent and roll over the arms. So we have obviously two of the arms. So we have that duality. So what we're going to be looking at over the course of the next 4 weeks is bringing that element of our adaptability, changing, working with the arms, working a little bit with the legs, getting into the limbs, working with Vyana Vayu. So it's that external and internal elements of the body. So as we move the body, really moving the arms and the legs, we get the circulatory system going and flowing as well. So Vyana Vayu, we've already practiced Apana Vayu and Prana Vayu, and they have their own mudras. If you do really want to get into the Vyana Vayu, I will pop that in one of the links at the end of the practice because we did this one last year. So I wanted to go into a slightly different element because I always like to change everything up. So I always like to go with the rules. So when I was doing my research with the mudras, because we always start our practice with the mudras at the moment, Gemini, the communicators, this is where we start to get into our mind, where we start to learn. And some of the mudras are also related to not just the elements, so earth, air, fire, water, but they also link to the mind. And in Gemini season, we can be very prone to overthinking. We might get a little bit of nervous energy, we're a little bit excitable, we've got all these thoughts going around. And one of the mudras that helps with that is the Ganesha or Ganesha mudra. Ganesh is all about being the remover of obstacles. It's the Hindu yoga sort of god equivalent with a male body and an elephant head. So if you think about an elephant coming your way, you're kind of going to get out of the way, hence the removing of obstacles. What's also lovely with this gesture is how we go into it. So it looks as though we're holding hands. Now I have joked with my students that I could have saved this one for the Cancerian season, because obviously Cancer's the crab, and Ganesh mudra almost looks as though you're doing like the crab hands, so you're interlocking hands. But Gemini is all about, there's that duality of one person and the other. So it's about that holding hands. And obviously with everything that we're going through at the moment, perhaps that's an element that we're missing out on. If you're a hugger like me, then we can go into this gesture of holding hands. And that might be what you put out there as you move into this practice, that element of holding someone else's hand, or we're in this all together. And it's just, tapping into that element of releasing whatever's in your mind and overthinking. Now, I'm pretty sure there is a correct way of doing this. One hand should be the one facing out, one hand should be the one facing in, but I'd rather let you go into your intuitive guidance, see what feels right for you. So we're going to have both hands either in front of the heart or in front of the throat chakra, sort of two areas I always relate and link to the Gemini zodiac archetype, because where the throat is obviously our communication and the heart is related to that element of the air. So you're going to have one hand with the palm facing out, one hand with the palm facing in. I'm going to just show you slightly. So you're going to curl the fingers around so you create this hook. So you're hooking onto the fingers, and then you're pulling in that opposite direction. So the arms are quite strong. You're not relaxed, but you are active here as you pull the arms. Right arm to the right, pulling the left arm to the left. Make sure you're not lifting the shoulders up, so let the shoulders relax. And focusing on the breath. And the arms might start to feel heavy, that's normal. keep going. It can be very tempting to give in. And it's knowing those limits of, do I have to really release? Or this is getting challenging. Do I really want to carry on? Noticing if the mind tries to wander, just releasing, letting them go, focusing on the arms, that gentle pulling. So you might stay here for longer. Maybe you have got to the point where your arms are feeling super, 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 super heavy. So you might gently release, giving the shoulders a little shrug, give the fingers a little bit of a wiggle. So if you need to build up the strength in your arms, do go and watch and practice the video that came out on Tuesday. So this is an odd little extra. As I said, we're in that duality of Gemini. So I've actually decided to release an additional video on Tuesday. It will at least be 3, if not 4. I haven't decided that one quite yet. So let me know how you feel with those ones, how you get on with those in the comments below for that video. The video that went up on Tuesday, we're really going into working with building up strength in the wrists and in the forearms. So we've got a different variety of those. So you've got strengthening, and then you've got range of movement. So if you know this one starts to feel challenging, then those practices that are going to be coming up over the next few Tuesdays, we're either without props or we're looking at certain types of props. So you might need to invest into a couple of props, though I do go through alternatives that you most likely have at home that you can use. Otherwise, I will see you next Thursday where we go into week 2 for our Gemini Vyana Vayu practice. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have got any questions, do pop them in the comments below. If you do want to join me on a live stream class, the details are in the information below and you can book straight through the link that's on there. Otherwise, have a fabulous week. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Namaste.